Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin exhibits a clear upward trend. The RSI consistently fluctuates, indicating periods of neither extreme overbought nor oversold conditions, suggesting a healthy and sustained rally. The Bollinger Bands have been expanding, confirming the increasing volatility and price momentum. The forecast for the next week predicts continued price appreciation, reaching $80,600. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy focusing on capitalizing on the ongoing uptrend. My strategy involves entering a long position at $75,700. Given the RSI is not in an oversold position, we will use the Bollinger Bands to determine our stop loss and target prices. The stop loss will be set at $74,100, just below the lower Bollinger Band for added protection. The initial target price will be $79,000, aligning with the forecast price and the upper Bollinger Band. If the price reaches $79,000, we will adjust the stop loss to break even, securing our initial investment and allowing for further gains. Finally, if the price continues to rise, the ultimate target will be $80,600, based on the forecast data. This approach balances risk and reward, maximizing potential profits while minimizing potential losses. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum demonstrates an overall upward trend, supported by consistently breaching the 2130 support level and showing a forecast moving towards 2530. The RSI consistently fluctuates above 50, indicating a bullish momentum, with recent values nearing 65, suggesting a potential, albeit temporary, overbought condition. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, indicating increased volatility and potential for price swings. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy. Entry price will be $2,370, with a stop loss set at $2,320 to mitigate potential downside risk. The initial target price is $2,450, aligning with the first forecast price. To refine the strategy, I propose a dynamic approach incorporating the RSI and Bollinger Bands. If the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will enter a long position at $2,320, with a stop loss at $2,250 and a target price of $2,400. Conversely, if the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, we will consider a short-term long position at the band's price, with a stop loss just below the band and a target price near the mid-band. This combined strategy, prioritizing the overall bullish trend while capitalizing on short-term volatility, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows an upward trend. The RSI values have been generally increasing, with recent readings above 50, indicating strengthening momentum. The forecast for the next week predicts continued price increases, reaching $1.55. Considering the support price of $1.45 and the resistance price of $1.54, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $1.44, placing a stop-loss order at $1.40 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $1.50, aiming to capture a significant portion of the anticipated upward movement. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. When the price touches the lower band, it suggests XRP is potentially oversold, and when it touches the upper band, it suggests XRP is potentially overbought. The forecast price of $1.48 on April 21, 2026, is near the upper Bollinger Band, suggesting a potential pullback. Therefore, I'll adjust the target price to $1.52 and implement a trailing stop loss at $1.42 after reaching $1.50. This combined RSI and Bollinger Band strategy offers a balance between momentum and volatility, maximizing potential returns while mitigating risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a generally upward trend, although with some volatility. The RSI consistently fluctuates, dipping below 50, indicating periods of relative weakness. The Bollinger Bands show the price has been nearing the lower band recently, suggesting a potential bounce. Considering this, I propose a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands. We will enter a long position when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI is below 40, aiming to capitalize on a potential rebound. The entry price will be $630, coinciding with the first forecast price and the lower Bollinger Band. A stop loss will be placed just below the support price at $626 to mitigate potential losses if the price continues to decline. The initial target price will be $647, aligning with the second forecast price and a reasonable profit margin. If the price reaches $647, we will move the stop loss to break even at $630, securing the initial investment. A further target price of $658 will be set if the price continues to show upward momentum, potentially capturing a larger profit. This strategy combines technical indicators to identify entry points and manage risk effectively, aiming for high returns while protecting capital. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana shows a generally upward trend, supported by consistently breaking through the resistance level of $91.4. The RSI fluctuating between 40 and 57 indicates periods of oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been moving around the center line, occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. Considering this, I recommend a long position strategy. Initially, we will enter a long position at $86.5, placing a stop-loss order at $76.2 to limit potential losses. The first target price will be $89.8, aligning with the forecast price and recent resistance levels. To maximize potential gains, we will implement a dynamic strategy. Once the price reaches the initial target of $89.8, we will move the stop-loss to the entry price of $86.5. If the price continues to rise, we will set a second target price at $91.4, the previous resistance level. If the price fails to reach $89.8 and instead falls to $86.5, the stop loss will be triggered, exiting the position. This strategy combines RSI signals, Bollinger Bands analysis, and support/resistance levels to provide a balanced approach to high-return investment. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON exhibits an upward trend, consistently trading near the support level of $0.32. The RSI values fluctuate between 60 and 70, indicating a moderately strong momentum without reaching overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a potential breakout. Considering the forecast price reaching $0.336, I recommend a long position. The entry price should be $0.328, coinciding with the recent high and the upper Bollinger Band. To mitigate risk, set a stop loss at $0.319, just below the recent support and the lower Bollinger Band. The initial target price should be $0.335, aligning with the forecast price and the upper resistance level. To maximize potential returns, I suggest a tiered target strategy. After reaching the initial target of $0.335, consider moving the stop loss to break even to protect profits. If the price continues to rise, set a second target at $0.34, near the resistance level. If the price reaches $0.34, consider taking partial profits and trailing the stop loss to protect the remaining position. This layered approach allows for capturing substantial gains while managing risk effectively. This strategy combines technical indicators and forecast data to optimize the investment decision. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows an upward trend, supported by consistently increasing forecast prices from $0.0976 to $0.104 over the next week. The RSI has been fluctuating but generally trending upward, closing at 61.2 on April 17, 2026, indicating a strengthening momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a period of consolidation followed by a potential breakout. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. Specifically, I suggest entering a long position at $0.0976 on April 18, 2026. The stop loss should be set slightly below the support level at $0.0953 to protect against a potential pullback, placing it at $0.094. The initial target price should be $0.103, aligning with the recent resistance level. If the price reaches $0.103, consider moving the stop loss to break even to secure profits and potentially ride further upward momentum. This strategy combines trend analysis, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano shows a fluctuating trend with a recent bounce from the support level of $0.246. The RSI consistently remains between 40 and 54, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a period of consolidation. Looking ahead, the forecast predicts a slight upward movement, with prices potentially reaching $0.262. Given this analysis, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy focusing on short-term gains. My proposed strategy involves a long position with an entry price of $0.252 on April 18, 2026. The stop loss should be set just below the support level at $0.244 to limit potential losses. The initial target price is $0.26, aligning with the recent resistance level. If the price breaks above $0.26 and the RSI rises above 60, consider raising the target price to $0.262. This approach combines technical indicators and price action to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash shows a slight upward trend, with recent price action testing support levels. The RSI consistently remains below 50, indicating a potential oversold condition and possible upward momentum. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the lower band, suggesting a potential bounce. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $442. A stop loss should be placed at $422, just below the recent low and the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, to limit potential losses. The initial target price is set at $455, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and a reasonable profit target given the current market conditions. To refine this strategy, I'll incorporate RSI signals. When the RSI dips below 35, it signals an oversold condition, confirming the buy signal. If the RSI rises above 50, it suggests a potential reversal, prompting a partial profit-taking strategy. For example, if the price reaches $450, consider selling 25% of the position. A second target price of $457 can be set based on the forecast, and if the RSI reaches 80, consider selling 50% of the position. This adaptive approach, combining Bollinger Bands and RSI, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chainlink shows a generally upward trend, although with some volatility. The RSI values fluctuate between 45.9 and 58.8, indicating periods of neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening and narrowing, suggesting increasing and decreasing volatility. The support price of $9.34 provides a floor, while the resistance at $12.1 represents a ceiling. Considering the forecast prices consistently above $9.33 and the upward trend, a long position is warranted. I recommend a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands to maximize returns. We will enter a long position at $9.33. The stop loss will be placed slightly below the support level at $9.26 to protect against unexpected downturns. The initial target price will be set at $9.7, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band. If the price reaches this target, we will move the stop loss to the entry price of $9.33 to secure profits and allow for further upside potential. If the price continues to rise, we will adjust the target price to $10.1. This combined strategy leverages the momentum indicated by the forecast and Bollinger Bands while using RSI to avoid overbought conditions and the support and resistance levels to manage risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Celestia demonstrates a strong upward trend, particularly evident in the recent surge from $0.289 to $0.431. The RSI consistently climbed above 50, indicating increasing momentum, and peaking at 75.9, nearing overbought territory. The Bollinger Bands have been expanding, suggesting increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Given this bullish outlook, I propose a strategy centered around capitalizing on pullbacks to support levels. we will initiate a long position at $0.368, coinciding with the first forecast price and a potential retracement. A stop loss will be placed at $0.341, just above the support level, to protect against unexpected downturns. The initial target price will be $0.446, aligning with the forecast for April 21, 2026. To further refine the strategy, we will incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band, which is currently around $0.233, it signals an oversold condition, and a long position can be initiated at $0.233 with a stop loss at $0.213 and a target price of $0.368. As the price approaches the upper band, around $0.39, it suggests potential overbought conditions. Therefore, we will adjust the target price to $0.459, the final forecast price, if the price continues to rise. This multi-layered approach, combining RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels, aims to maximize returns while minimizing risk. This portfolio combines the most efficient strategies. Based on the historical data and forecast, just shows a mixed trend with periods of consolidation and upward movement. The RSI fluctuates above and below 50, indicating indecision, but recently reached overbought territory, above 80, on April 10, 2026, suggesting a potential pullback. The Bollinger Bands have been expanding and contracting, with the price occasionally touching the upper band, indicating bullish pressure. The forecast for the next week shows a slight downward trend initially, then stabilizing around 0.0666. Considering these factors, I recommend a short-term swing trading strategy. Our strategy will involve entering a long position at $0.0666 when the price stabilizes. We will set a stop-loss order at $0.0649 just below the support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.0704 the recent resistance level. If the price reaches the target, we will move the stop-loss to break even to protect profits. If the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will consider exiting the position or adjusting the strategy. This approach balances the potential for gains with risk management, capitalizing on short-term price movements while protecting against significant losses. Based on the historical data and forecast, Kaia demonstrates a slight upward trend. The RSI consistently hovers around the mid-40s to low 50s, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. However, the forecast prices show a consistent upward trajectory, suggesting a potential for further gains. The Bollinger Bands are narrowing, which often precedes a breakout. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will initiate a long position at $0.0482. The stop-loss will be set just below the support level at $0.0464 to protect against a potential downturn. The initial target price will be $0.05, aligning with the forecast price on April 24, 2026. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate a dynamic target price based on the RSI. If the RSI reaches 80 during the holding period, we will take partial profits and adjust the stop-loss to break even, securing some gains while allowing the position to run further. This approach balances risk and reward, capitalizing on the anticipated upward trend while mitigating potential losses. The final target price will be $0.0506, which is the highest forecast price. This portfolio combines the forecast data, support and resistance levels, and RSI to create an efficient strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ether.fi demonstrates a generally upward trend, though with notable volatility. The RSI consistently dips below 50, indicating periods of undervaluation. The forecast for the next week projects a continued upward movement, with prices ranging from 0.462 to 0.508. Considering the support at 0.438 and resistance at 0.53, combined with the RSI and Bollinger Bands, I recommend a long position strategy. We'll enter a long position at $0.462, placing a stop-loss order at $0.438, just below the established support level to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.495, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band, aiming for a quick profit. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate a trailing stop-loss based on the lower Bollinger Band. If the price reaches $0.495, we will move the stop-loss to $0.477, securing some profit while allowing for further upside potential. If the price continues to rise and breaks through the $0.508 forecast, we'll adjust the target price to $0.53, the resistance level. This dynamic approach combines RSI signals, Bollinger Band guidance, and support/resistance levels to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. The final portfolio will be 60% long position, 30% risk management, and 10% dynamic adjustment. Based on the historical data and forecast, Theta network exhibits an upward trend. The RSI consistently moves above 50, indicating bullish momentum. The forecast prices for the next week are all above the recent closing price of $0.215, further reinforcing this trend. The support price of $0.207 acts as a strong floor, while the resistance at $0.249 presents a potential ceiling. We will implement a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Bands to maximize profit potential. Our strategy involves entering a long position when the RSI dips below 40 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Currently, the RSI is at 70.8, which is overbought. We will wait for a pullback. When the RSI falls below 40 and the price reaches the lower Bollinger Band, which is currently around $0.13, we will enter a long position at $0.132. The stop-loss will be set just below the support level at $0.205 to protect against a potential reversal. Our primary target price is $0.228, aligning with the forecast price for April 24, 2026. A secondary target will be set at the resistance level of $0.249. This combined strategy leverages both momentum and volatility indicators to capture potential upside while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Morpho demonstrates a generally upward trend with some volatility. The RSI consistently fluctuates, but generally stays above 30, indicating it is not consistently oversold. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has recently been trending towards the upper band, suggesting bullish momentum. The forecast data indicates a continued upward trajectory, with prices reaching $1.99. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy focused on capitalizing on upward movements while mitigating risk. The initial entry point will be $1.83, coinciding with the support level and a potential bounce-back opportunity. A stop-loss order will be placed at $1.75 to limit potential losses if the price reverses. The initial target price will be $1.97, aligning with the forecast data and the recent upward trend. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will enter at $1.83 with a stop-loss at $1.75 and a target of $1.97. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, we will also enter at $1.83 with the same stop-loss and target. Conversely, if the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, we will consider a short-term profit-taking opportunity, selling at $1.97. This layered approach combines trend analysis, support and resistance levels, and technical indicators to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethena demonstrates a clear upward trend, particularly noticeable from April 11, 2026, with a significant surge past $0.10. The RSI consistently moved above 50, indicating strengthening momentum. The forecast for the next week predicts continued growth, reaching $0.126. Considering these factors, I propose a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.106, placing a stop-loss order at $0.095 to mitigate potential losses if the price reverses. Our initial target price will be $0.12, aligning with the support level, and a secondary target of $0.126, based on the forecast. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate Bollinger Bands. The price consistently remained within the bands, suggesting a period of consolidation before the recent breakout. The current price is near the upper band, indicating a potential for a pullback. Therefore, we'll adjust our strategy slightly. We will enter a long position at $0.106, with a stop loss at $0.103, just below the upper Bollinger Band. Our first target remains $0.12, and the second target is $0.126. This combined strategy leverages the upward trend, RSI momentum, and Bollinger Band dynamics for a high potential, yet controlled, investment. Based on the historical data and forecast, Pendle exhibits a generally upward trend, particularly evident in the recent surge from $1.28 to $1.42. The RSI consistently moves above 30, indicating a weakening downtrend and a potential for a bullish reversal. The forecast prices for the next week predict continued growth, ranging from $1.21 to $1.43. Combining these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $1.21, placing a stop-loss order at $1.18 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be $1.38, aligning with the forecast high for the week. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band, indicating an oversold condition, we will enter a long position at $1.18, setting a stop-loss at $1.15 and a target price of $1.27. Conversely, if the price reaches the upper band, suggesting an overbought condition, we will consider shorting at $1.38 with a stop-loss at $1.40 and a target price of $1.34. The most efficient portfolio will prioritize the long position strategy based on the overall upward trend, with opportunistic short positions only when the price reaches the upper Bollinger Band. This balanced approach aims to capitalize on both bullish and potentially bearish movements while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Compound exhibits a strong uptrend. The price has consistently broken through resistance levels, and the forecast predicts continued upward momentum, reaching $29.8. The RSI consistently rises above 50, indicating bullish sentiment, and the Bollinger Bands have been expanding, suggesting increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. The entry price will be $24.5, coinciding with the start of the forecast period and a relatively low price compared to recent highs. The stop loss will be set at $23.5, just below the recent support level, to protect against a potential pullback. The initial target price will be $26.8, aligning with the forecast for April 20, 2026. To maximize potential returns, I suggest a dynamic target price strategy. Once the price reaches $26.8, we will move the stop loss to break even to secure the initial investment. The next target price will be $28.6, based on the forecast for April 22, 2026. If this target is reached, we will move the stop loss again to protect profits. The final target price will be $29.8, the peak of the forecast, at which point we will close the entire position. This strategy combines the strength of the uptrend, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands expansion to achieve high returns while managing risk effectively. The portfolio is weighted entirely towards the long position due to the strong bullish indicators. Based on the historical data and forecast, DeXe exhibits a strong upward trend. The price has consistently moved above the Bollinger Bands, especially in the recent days, indicating bullish momentum. The RSI consistently reached overbought levels, particularly exceeding 80, suggesting a potential pullback is possible, but the overall trend remains positive. Considering the forecast prices, which predict a continuous increase to $14, a long position strategy is recommended. We will enter a long position at $11.8, placing a stop-loss order at $11.7, just below the support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $12.6, aligning with the forecast price for April 21, 2026. To maximize returns and manage risk, we will implement a dynamic target price strategy. Once the price reaches $12.6, we will move the stop-loss order to break even at $11.8, protecting the initial investment. We will then set a new target price at $14, based on the forecast for April 24, 2026. This strategy combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals with forecast data to capitalize on the upward trend while incorporating risk management techniques. This portfolio will yield high returns with the most efficient strategy.